there's a nice light like coming here from the ceiling in the railway station. I'm gonna see if I can do something while reducing a lot the exposure compensation, trying to have a very high contrast scene. Utilizing a bit of the Dutch tilt, like I explained in my previous video. So today I'm shooting with the RICOH GR III. I don't know when the video will be released, but I was talking about the fact that I was not very shooting a lot in the past 2-3 months. So today I'm trying to get back to shooting a little bit.
For the next photo, I saw this woman standing perfectly in the light. I liked the way she was dressed. I think she was quite elegant, so I took the shot. But what I noticed when reviewing the photo is the light behind her, casting on the wall. It almost created a halo of light, making her look like a superhero or something. I just like how the 28mm on the RICOH is shining in these kind of scenarios. We have a nice light coming from the back, slightly angled. Then any subject becomes much more interesting and you can have a very dynamic scene with the light filtering through, creating a lot of depth in the shot. But you will see later that this nice sunlight didn't last that long actually.
There's one thing I'm really not good at with the RICOH GR III is getting leveled shot. I don't know how, like it's so difficult to have it something very perfectly leveled. To some extent you can correct that in post, so that's not a huge deal. It's a bit difficult to balance the exposure with the little street that is pretty dark and the building in the background that is pretty bright. So what I do sometimes is just I point my camera up so it exposes for the highlight, then I half press the shutter and keep it half pressed to recompose, and only then I fully press the shutter to take the photo. This white panel at the end of this street makes a very good backdrop to have good subject separation, but the only issue is that the pictures I took here, my subject was kind of spilling onto the blue part, so I'm gonna try having a better shot. If I move a little bit left, I have more of this white part, but I am less symmetrical, I'm less centered, but anyway I will give it a try. So I focus, then I can lock my exposure so I don't have to worry, and then I just have to wait. Oh, here actually I may just use the 35mm crop. I switch to highlight metering, but still it's a bit of a too contrasty scene for the RICOH to handle, I think. Did I time it well? Yes. Perfect leg spread. Pretty happy with this one. I like the texture of that post. difficulties with these little, I don't know, electric box. There's always a little bit of a gap of light in the right side of my frame, so it is quite unbalanced. So I'm trying to figure out. I can always like go into like crop mode and having something a bit more simple, just like this. But I wanted to find something suitable at 28. But you see, if I keep going forward, then it's not really what I was saying like before. So let's go back there, figure out a way. Like, what about that? I don't know. I think I have something finally. Subject is coming. Again, here I'm using the foreground to remove that whole left part where there's a lot of thing going on with the road. With the foreground, I can really reduce my composition to just that sleeve of light that is hitting this building, and I just have to wait for the subject to walk in. Got it. Here I'm trying another composition where this little sleeve where there's no barrier and nothing like going in the way. It's probably better to have better subject separation, so I'm gonna wait a little bit more here for someone to step in. Two people coming, so it's not ideal. Finally got what I wanted. Someone is walking in the middle of the road here could be a pretty nice, simple composition with the rule of third, some leading lines like in the meantime, I'm trying a 50mm composition here.
What I noticed with my RICOH GR III, and more generally speaking when I shoot with a wider focal length like 28 or 35, is that I'm quite reliant on the quality of the light. I love shooting under a beautiful sunlight that allows me to capture wider scene. The light is really helping me in creating a lot of contrast and a lot of light patterns in the streets that you can play with to find nice scenes with a good subject separation. But whenever it's overcast, which I try to not avoid at all costs, because I think as a photographer we should be able to adapt to any shooting scenarios, I tend to shoot more like a layered composition, abstract-y kind of thing, which are quite difficult to achieve with a wider focal length in general. For me, photography is kind of a game of subtraction, where you want your composition to be quite minimal in a sense, or just easy to read, where the viewer clearly understands what is the subject of that photo. And with a tighter focal length like 50mm or even above that, it's easier to achieve because there's always some sort of material, a lamppost, some reflection you can play with to really make your composition as minimal as possible. And when I started shooting that day, I had a decent amount of light for the first 1 hour or so. Then the weather changed and it was mostly overcast, which made it quite a challenge with the RICOH GR III and the 28mm. So that's why a few times I stepped into the crop mode, even going to 50mm, so A few photos I included in this video are shot with this 50mm crop mode. I actually boost the resolution with the tool you have on Lightroom, so I'm wondering whether you could see a real drop in resolution. I think those crop modes, of course you are losing some, but they are definitely usable. But yeah, overall a good lesson. It's quite difficult to make a subject stand out in an overcast day, so I know now that if it's going to be bright all day, I can shoot with my 28 or 35, but when it's clear that it will be overcast, I can lean towards 50mm or even above that. But what I know is that on the same day, same bright day with a good sunlight, I will always prefer the shot I took on the 28 or 35mm compared to the tighter focal lengths.
Kinda like these yellow stairs. Here it's going to be quite hard to achieve any sort of subject separation given how wide the scene is, but you see, if it was not cloudy, I'm quite sure that there would have been some light hitting that street. Here would have been in the shadow due to that building, so some sort of subject separation could have been achievable. Not the case right now, I guess. You see here, if you do a symmetrical composition, you have the roof of that little thing distracting the whole scene, so you always have to move around, find ways to have your subject, your secondary and the third subject to work together and be well balanced. If I come here, then I can have my sort of main subject in the form of this shrine. Then here this little thing where you wash your hands before praying is kind of a secondary subject, and it doesn't go on the way, it doesn't go in my main subject. And then you have these like little statues. We can achieve some sort of balanced composition. We have also the bush in the foreground that adds a little bit of depth. Could even try taking that at 2.8 to see if I can have a little bit more of a background blur kind of thing. You see, if I move down a little bit, then the statue also is well more like separated from the roof of that thing on the left. So here's the photo.
Here the light was back for a short while, so I noticed again a simple urban scene with a nice light creating a lot of contrast. I used the lamppost next to me to fill a little bit the right part of the frame. Nothing crazy, but a pretty cool photo, I think. We are slowly approaching the end of this photography session, and for this next photo I noticed this row of desk chairs where the last one was nicely lit, making it stand out from the others. I decided to not include anyone in this photo since the chair is really the star of the show here. Thanks for watching so far, and I hope you liked the video because I will try to make more of these. I recently got these DJI mic, so I have a way now to get really good quality audio when I'm out in the street shooting in this POV kind of way, and so I can really talk a bit more and explain the creative process behind each photos. And yeah, I'm curious to know your thoughts on it, because I want to incrementally improve on these kind of videos, find ways to make it more entertaining and more insightful for you. And yeah, looking forward to your feedback. See you in the next one. Bye.